Today's conversation is around lead magnets, a content marketing tool you can introduce to create new client opportunities for your brand and business around the clock. The purpose of a lead magnet is to allow your audience to sample your capabilities, so your A to B, with zero risk. You want to solve the biggest possible problem in the shortest possible time frame, and there to be no cost financially. So the best way to do this is with a digital piece of content, whether that's in video, written format, or otherwise. And I'm going to talk you through how to create a lead magnet that trumps any of your competitors in the marketplace, which is going to make your ability to attract leads and also to get clients that don't have price sensitivity, that don't go shopping around for other solutions and will pay that premium price point because they've got so much value that they feel like there's a karmic debt from this lead magnet. And also the people that don't progress to a paid solution are raving fans and ambassadors for your business or brand because they've got so much value just through that free lead magnet that you've given to them. So we've gone through the process of designing and building out our lead magnet at content only. And we just use the framework of what is the biggest problem that we can solve for our target clients in the shortest possible time frame. And being a content agency, content creation is a significant problem and a chore for a lot of people in the marketplace. When you consider all the moving parts that go into it, you've got to come up with ideas, you've got to capture the content, edit it to the quality where it's not vanilla and it's on brand, then get it out to the right audience at the right time, then monetize and actually get an ROI on the activity and time investment into the process. So we've called our lead magnet 30 days in 30 minutes content creation system, with the result of condensing the time that a business, a personal brand, a consultant has to invest in the content creation process down to that 30, 90 minutes a month. So taking all those other moving parts out of the equation for them. And we've had that lead magnet out in the marketplace for the last 7 days, and it's been a really strong uptake, which tells us that we are solving a problem that people generally want to solve. So you need to think about what is the system that you take clients through to get them from A to B, and how can you frame that up into a lead magnet, a piece of content that you can give away where if someone gets access to it, you take them through the process and they solve that significant problem and they haven't had to transact with you at this stage in the process. So what we did is there's 5 steps in our system and we put it into a Google Doc. And the reason why we wanted to have a Google Doc as our lead magnet is it's a live document. Anyone that has the link, if we make changes, if we remove stuff, add stuff, edit it, make it better, they will get to see those changes in real time. So the lead magnet is never stagnant. It's always evolving. And if social media changes, if our systems change, the lead magnet will be updated. And we feel really strongly about a process like that, where if you want to be able to come in and make it better, get a very high quality starting point with your lead magnet, that you can adapt it and evolve it with time. So Google Doc is a powerful recommendation. And a lot of people, it's funny because a Google Doc isn't overly polished in terms of design and creation. And there's almost a appreciation of that we've found with people that get access to it. Because it's real, it's human, it's not over polished, but if the content in it is really strong and really solid, they get tremendous value out of that process. So our 5 steps, how many steps are there in your process? So for us, step number 1 is research, so coming up with the ideas that are relevant to the niche. And that step in our system should get outsourced. Step number 2 is record. So capturing the content from the ideas in step 1 and extracting the business or the thought leader or the personal brand's genius on that subject matter for the audience. And that's the only step that our target clients should get involved in to get their content time down to 30 to 90 minutes a month. Step number 3 is where you outsource the repurposing. This is where you cut reels, you cut your written posts, your visuals. So you've got 30 pieces of content for the next 30 days to go out across social media. Step number 4 is optimization. So the hashtags, the titles, the thumbnails, the engagement steps, the posting times to make sure that it's getting to the right audience on the right platforms. Number 5 is the monetization. After all that time, energy, and effort, getting the content ready, how do we extract leads and also clients from the content strategy, which is where the lead magnet comes in, and steps like retargeting audiences. So offering the lead magnet to people that have already been engaging and interacting in a very low budget campaign. So that's our 5-step system. You want to sit down, get a piece of paper and talk through the steps that are in your process to get a client from A to B. And that's ultimately going to be your lead magnet. And you might be going, well, if I'm giving away our strategy or our process, can't people go out and copy or do what we do? And of course they could, but there's also, we like to say, Elvis Presley impersonators, and then there's Elvis Presley. And generally people that have that mindset don't go too far with it. They're the people that sort of quit very quickly with that mentality. And I understand that if someone has our lead magnet, the 30 days in 30 minutes content creation system, they could effectively offer the service that we offer at content only, but they wouldn't have the team, they wouldn't have the talent that we have. And you go, okay, well, Aaron, if you're giving away the system, use it content only, how does that help you in a business sense? Well, the reality is 2 things are going to happen with your leads. If you're giving away your system, 1, they can take it, implement it themselves and get the result, which is fantastic. They win, they feel great, you've changed their life in whatever application you help them in. Or number 2, there's going to be a percentage of people that go, it's more convenient. Where I'm at in the journey, it makes more sense to get you and your team to do it for us. And that's where you will get the client opportunities that convert very highly because they know your process, they know your system, they can see how it works. So you don't have to sell them. They're like, yeah, I just want it done for me. And you should have a very high strike rate when you're having that conversation about moving forward in the sales process. So if you want, the easiest way to develop your lead magnet, as I suggested, is getting access to the one we've created at content only, and you could adapt it, change the steps depending on how many steps there are in your system, and using that as a template to design yours. And once you've got it ready and you've built it out, what you want to do is add another step to your current content strategy so you can start generating leads. So whenever you put out a piece of content that you feel it's relevant to add this step, what you're going to do is the PS strategy that was spoken about before. And what we do in our content is say, PS, if you want our 30 days in 30 minutes content creation system, put a 30 in the comments, we'll send it straight over to you. So you'll just add that to content that goes out, have that PS section, and people that enjoy the content, read the post and want to get access to the system, remember, you're solving a massive problem for them for free. So if your content's getting out to the right audience and getting some reach and starting to compound over time, you should get significant hands up organically for this as you progress with your content creation. The great thing about that is if someone comments, it boosts the engagement on your post. So you're actually helping the performance of the post. The second powerful part of this process is if someone has asked for it, you can then go message them and say, hey, here's the lead magnet, here's the download, here's the system. And you've actually opened up a line of communication with them via Messenger. So you now have the ability to go back and forth with them and build a relationship. And what I would suggest you do is once they've got access to it, they'll need a little bit of time to start working through the system that you've created. Just check back in and say, hey, do you have any questions about the system? Is there anything we can help you with? And some will engage back, some won't. The other option you have too is go, hey, do you know anyone else who might like a copy of this system or this lead magnet that we could send it to them? And you could also get referrals for other people in their network that would like the free downloadable piece of content that's going to solve their biggest problem. So this opens up a whole new pathway of opportunities for you to start monetizing and creating client opportunities from your business. There's other steps that you can take as well, like the retargeting that I mentioned a bit earlier, where you circulate your lead magnet for a couple of dollars a day to people that already know you, that have been consuming and enjoying your content. I'll put a link in the description of this episode so you can see how to do that, setting up the retargeting audiences so anyone that's already in your warm audience has the opportunity to get access. And then you can also boost posts from time to time. If you've created a really valuable piece of content and you've got your PS, download our 30 days in 30 minutes content creation system in there, and you circulate it to push it out to a wider audience, then you also create more opportunities for engagement and interactions to put their hands up for the lead magnet. So at a very simple level, these are the things that you can do that don't take long, start implementing to start getting hands up, to start generating leads, adding insane free value to the marketplace, and giving people the opportunity to access your system, your process, learn your capabilities, and then potentially progress to having that conversation about moving forward with your paid solutions. And what you can add to your lead magnet is another free offer. So once people are working through the system, it's like, hey, if you want more personalized help building out this system or with the steps, book a free Zoom, book a free Google Meet, book a free session, and help them again. And you'll find that the people that progress to that second free offer through the lead magnet, usually you'll get to the end of the call if you help them, and they're probably going to ask a question like, so what does it look like if you do this for me, or you help me with that? And you can say, I'm glad you asked. And then you can talk through and discuss how you might be able to solve their biggest problems by working with them. So that's how the progression chain looks. And you don't need any fancy funnels. You don't need websites with this strategy. You just need to create an awesome lead magnet and take your time, put energy and effort into it. Remember, the better it is, the more valuable it is, the more effective this is going to be, the easier it is to get clients. So don't rush it. Put as much energy and effort in, get it to a very high standard, and then know that if you go down the route of using a Google Doc, you can come edit it, change it, make it better at any point in the future. So that's the lead magnet process. If it didn't make sense, just reach out to me, Aaron Witnish, on socials, and I can answer any of your questions. Like I said, if you want a copy of ours to model and see what a lead magnet looks like, or to be able to create 30 days worth of content in 30 minutes, you might want to implement and try the system out as well. I'll put a link to it in the show notes, or you can just send me a private message on social and say you want access to it, and I will flick it over to you.